This is episode 128 of the Purple Pill Podcast. And we have a special guest. We have Nate back on the podcast. How you been, Nate?
How we doing? Good. Thanks for having me again. Looking forward to digging into all this fun stuff.
No problem. We have Darren in LA. How y'all been doing?
Can't complain on my part. Can't complain. Football is coming back sooner and sooner.
Been a good couple of weeks. Glad to be back.
Definitely.
Mine
All
is
right.
sounding and feeling like death over there.
Minus that.
Well, speaking of football season being back, let's jump straight into it. Our main topic of the day is going to be talking about The Blind Side. If you guys haven't heard, The Blind Side was about the offensive tackle Michael Orr that's in the NFL or was in the NFL. They're saying that his story, that he got scammed his whole life, more or less, by the family that brought him in. So if you don't know the story, basically Michael Orr was according to them, according to the story, he was a poor child that was homeless. This white family broke him into their home, saw that he was pretty decent at football, got him to try out for the football team. Turned out to be pretty good. He ended up going to Ole Miss for college, ended up getting drafted to the NFL, and they made his whole story a movie. It was very inspirational. But
Where'd he
now
go in the NFL? Don't skip over the details. Where'd he go in the NFL?
He
he
went
got
to the
drafted by the Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens.
Thank you, guys.
All right. But now he's saying that family scammed him out of millions of dollars. One of the things I've heard is that they made $300 million off of the movie because of how well it did. So I just
Yes,
wanted to
that's
talk
what.
about this as a whole because this looks like a crazy story.
Well, so when I was going through this, like it was mind blowing to me because the like most, not even just the money, like what he was really heard about was like these people have treated him like family his whole life. He loved these people. He thought they loved him. He thought he was a part of this family. He legit thought he got adopted, that everything was cool. Find out years later, he was never adopted. He do not have share no allegiance with these people. They signed a conservatorship with him, the same conservatorship that Britney Spears is on right now because she's going fucking crazy. Is what they
Right.
signed
Yeah.
with this young man, and allegedly took advantage, took millions of dollars out of his pocket because he hasn't seen a cent from this. Also, the movie depicts him in a not favorable light. A lot of the movie, they make him seem a little slow, maybe even sometimes dumb, but they also make him seem to have very good reactions and instincts. So like it plays in the whole football thing. But like this had real life effects for him. Like when he was on the Ravens, he could not be a captain of shit because they thought he was slow. He was getting turned over for promotions. Like they thought he was not all the way there because of the way that movie projected him, even though that may not be all the way true. So, what are your thoughts on this whole thing as a whole, like from the family situation all the way to the money?
Can I say two things real quick before
Go
we
ahead.
get really into the topic? Sandra Bullock did a great job with this movie. I think that's one of the reasons why it was very successful. She did a really good job with it. And then on top of it, I really hated the movie. I think both of those two things could be really true. I really did not like the movie because of how it portrayed him. Uh, but yeah, to answer, yeah, if they took advantage of him, that somebody needs to look into this at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, there was a child that got taken advantage of
Yeah.
financially. You know what I mean? And I
I
think
mean,
that's not okay.
He
I don't
wasn't
want
a
to.
child though. He was 18.
Yeah, he was an adult when it happened. That's why it's all. I don't know. I mean, we've seen, like he brought up Britney Spears. I mean, it's happened with many. I guess you want to call them celebrities or whatever, where parents or whoever the guardians were took severe advantage of people, especially when it comes to money and stuff like that. So I mean, this is something that we've seen before, but this is a little different.
It's egregious. Like this is why
Yeah.
the what are they called? And is it the NCAA for college sports or is that
Hmm.
just for basketball?
No,
No, it's for all
you got it
college
right.
It's
sports.
that's why they were investigating them heavy because people just go around, grab these kids off the street, and try to make a big name out of them. Like they was doing this exact same shit that was being investigated in for 20 years ago. They was actually doing this shit. They just made it all
Right.
look right and right.
And if it all does eventually come, because we do have to play devil's advocate and play the side of we don't know for sure yet. But if it did happen like that, it is a huge case of. I mean, you got to think about how much that affects him. Like these people, literally, like he said, just plucked me off the street. I thought one thing, and they were just using me as a cash cow, basically. I mean, I can't imagine what that does to somebody.
Like that's gonna put a lot of strain on any relationship. Like that's crazy. Like you made 300 M's and he hasn't seen a cent from it. Like make it make sense.
It doesn't. I'm curious how he didn't know about it until recently, or why he never checked in on that after the movie. Again, I'm trying to be the devil's advocate a little bit more here.
Yeah. Well,
But like, I'm just curious why. Yeah.
In this article, they say that he still was playing football. Like he recently retired
Hall
of Fame or whatever,
Right.
and
So his focus was split.
So now he has time to go back and figure out things. But they said that when this movie came out and he originally had issues. Can you scroll down? Keep going. So it said, keep going. I think it might be a little bit down, more down.
So he didn't even find out about the lie of the adoption until just recently. That just happened in February 2023.
Yeah, he just found out about it. But so according to legal filings, the movie paid the Toys or whatever their name and their birth children $225,000 plus 2.5 of the film's defined net profits. So they've grossed over 300 million at the box office. So they've gotten tens of millions of dollars out of this, and dude's got none. They've used his name, his likeness, and he's gotten no money out of it, dude. Because he's in the NFL, he's cool. No,
that's not how that works.
And he has
just pay the man
also
and adopt him. How old is he now? He's 40 years old. Adopt the man.
No, see, if I was him, I wouldn't even want to be part of the family anymore. I'd just say good riddance at that point.
But I mean, that's your family. That's all you've known, dude. That's fucked up. That's gonna fuck this man up.
Also, to touch on what Darren said though about how he didn't even like the movie, I guess I'm on the opposite side because when I grew up, I loved, feel good sports movie, whether it's that Friday Night Lights. We remember the Titans, the Rookie, whatever you want to call it. So.
Radio's a good movie.
Right. So all of those, I love those growing up. So for me, it's not like good riddance. I didn't like it anyway. It really sucks because it tarnishes something that I grew up watching that not inspired me or anything, but it just ruined it.
It was a good memory.
Yeah, it's a good memory.
That there's good people in the world and it gave you hope, but here we are.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. It was a movie for hope, and I think that stuff's important, and now you look back on it and forever this will be remembered as, some people just getting over on another athlete.
So it was funny. I was talking to TJ about this the other day, Darren, and TJ's like, shit, I'm trying to do the same thing right now in basketball. I'm picking up all these little niggas off the street.
God.
So, I guess where's the line drawn? If he gets enough kids and makes a basketball team and takes those kids to the league and makes this basketball movie, is he taking advantage of these kids?
No.
Or is he?
No.
So then to play devil's advocate,
you want to know why?
Why are they taking advantage? Yeah.
Ben, let's go into it real quick. All right, let's start with the NCAA. All right. They recently passed. What was that kids get the NIL money, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say compared to then, this kid had to actually make it to the NFL to make money, right?
Right.
And then they had to make the movie to make money as the family in that sense, right? Maybe they got money of part of his contract money somehow. I don't know. We don't know that part, but we'll leave that alone. If he takes these kids just to college and they get NIL money, those kids are set already. Now, if he keeps pushing them to go to the NBA and then he writes a story about it, if they're great, they're great. It's just a talk about likeness in that sense, because likeness is starting to be the thing that you can
monetize.
Yeah, thank you. Monetize off of.
So you're saying
if
that the
he's
Tuohys
making,
are not wrong for this then?
I gotta see the contracts that was signed on his behalf. To be honest with you, that's how.
Now, also, this is why I wanted to bring up because in the movie they go and make such a point to show how slow he was in the movie,
And that's what I
but
hate.
Mhm.
yet they made him sign these documentations. Like, was he not supposed to have legal representation if he's so slow? Like,
Right.
what's going on here? If he was so slow, you made a point to put it in the movie. Why did you take advantage of a slow person and take millions of dollars from him?
So,
That actually just
LA,
makes it worse.
in his defense, I don't know who wrote the original book, but I know Hollywood made that movie. You know, Hollywood has to make everything
And that's fine.
Hollywood to
I'm
make it
just
to
saying.
sell their
They
story
have
a
to
little bit.
aggrandize everything.
But
I'm just saying, if he was slow, why are you having a slow person sign millions of dollars over to you?
he was an adult though,
If
right?
you're
Didn't
not
we already
even
cover that?
adopted to him.
He was an
He
adult
is an
still though.
adult. But if you are, I don't know the word to use, so I'm going to continue using slow. It's probably not right, and I'm sorry for those of you who are offended by it. But if you are in that group of people, like you should have support in making these type of decisions, right? Like,
Well, it's a legality thing. It's just, I don't know, and I'm trying to find the right wording as well. But a legal document signed by someone that would be clinically in that state is not valid. They would have to have a guardian signed for them.
so then he might even make more money off defamation. Then he should just sue for defamation.
That's what I'm getting at.
And he should have been sued for that. He originally, when the movie came out, he said he didn't like the movie because of that. So I think he should have been sued off of that. But at the end of the day,
Never too late.
family thing.
Well, is there a statute of limitations on that shit? That's where the court stuff will truly be involved, or whether we just have a discussion about this and it just is what it is.
I remember when the
There's a statute
movie
of limitations.
I remember when the movie originally came out. My mom didn't like the movie either for the same reasons Darren didn't, and it's made him look very stupid. They try to make him seem very unintelligent, like he didn't even know what football was or anything like
Right.
that. And she even called out. She thought it was fishy from the get-go that about the whole movie, about the whole thing in the first place. She always thought that shit was fishy.
Yep. And I actually, until very recently, because I'm ignorant, I didn't even know it was a true story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never really paid attention to that fact.
You thought
I have
it
a
was one of
question.
those Hollywoods based
I
on
just-
true
yeah.
stories?
Yeah, I just thought it was a feel-good Hollywood story. I didn't even know it was a real story
Well, at least now
until
you know
maybe
it's
a
not
year
real.
ago.
I truly don't think that movie would do as good as it did in 2023.
None of those movies would do the
Actually,
game they
Darren,
did back then.
Even in
honestly-
It
2019,
would crush.
Hold on,
it would
Darren.
crush if it came out right now. Are you
Darren,
kidding me?
I disagree with you from this
I disagree.
It
standpoint.
would crush.
Darren, I disagree from this standpoint. What was the biggest thing that you said about that movie? Sandra Bullock killed that role.
Yeah.
She won an Oscar off that role, didn't she? Best
It would have
actress.
crushed right now.
That
Oscar
movie
and
would have
Emmy or
been.
something like that.
She
She's
killed
not
that
touching
role.
it. Bro, let's just be real. Let's be 100% honest, y'all. If that shit came out in 2023, that shit's not killing Oppenheimer. That shit's not killing the Barbie movie, and I haven't even seen that movie.
It's not
Like,
beating Barbie,
let's be
but
real.
it,
You haven't
Let's be
seen
real.
any of those movies, so you can't say that. Not
Let's
at
be
all.
real. Let's be real.
You
The
can't even
Spider-Man
say
movie
that.
came out this year. The Flash
And
movie.
you ain't see that either. You ain't see
All of
that
those
either.
things. All of those
You haven't
things.
seen any of those movies, so it doesn't count.
Darren,
He's
it's-
got a point there,
You're not
Darren.
allowed to compare it. You can't compare a
You
film
saw
that-
this movie, didn't you? Though you saw this movie,
Not
though.
at the time that it came out. I watched this shit like 3 years, 4 years later, bro. And I hated
Here
it
we
from the
go.
jump.
Darren,
I
you
don't
know
He
like-
the
never watched it. He never watched it, but he hated it.
I watched it. No, I watched it. It's a terrible movie. It's a very weird movie to me.
Darren. What was the budget for the Barbie movie?
No.
So it says Oppenheimer is 100 million. Barbie was 145. They made The Blind Side for $30 million, and they made 300 million. That's a successful movie.
I'm
would've
not saying it wasn't successful at the time. I'm saying it wouldn't survive in today's time.
I think it
Yes,
would.
it would.
People eat up anything.
Yeah,
I
people
just
love
think it would do as good.
two things, Darren.
Especially
Like you said,
since he just retired, like it would have been eaten. I would have went to theaters to see it. A Ravens superstar player movie? Yeah, I would want to go see that shit in theaters.
And at the end of the day, the biggest reason for that movie.
See it when it came out, Ella? Did you
I
go?
was like 12, so no, I didn't go.
When did you see it? When did you see the movie?
I don't know. I was 12. I don't remember when I saw the movie.
Wait, you were
But
12?
I know. I don't know when this movie came out. Like 2008,
2009.
It was like in middle school, high school.
Okay, I was 15 years old. I apologize.
I'm trying to remember if it was a DVD or a VHS.
I don't remember. I didn't see this in theaters. I know we went to go see The Hangover in theaters, and that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This whole story, I hope the best for him. He has his own family now. I don't know if this is gonna show that in here, but he has his own whole family. He has a wife. He has a couple kids. So I just wish the best for him.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I just hope he gets what's rightfully his if there is money out there that he's getting paid.
Entitled to.
Yeah, entitled to.
Or maybe they made him stupid in the movie because they got him to sign that deal. And they're like, this dude's just an idiot. So I don't know.
God.
We got his dumbass to sign this. We gotta make him slow. That's fucked up.
No, I think there was somebody.
Yeah, that's the worst take on this. Yeah, I love it.
That's fucked
There
up.
was somebody who is like a notary or something.
Mhm.
I think that they're being investigated too because they allegedly like are friends of the family for the Toys or Tullies, how we pronounce their names.
Yeah, anybody can. My grandma growing up was a notary. Was a notary.
Yeah.
She used to work at a bank.
Yeah, she's a notary / attorney that like did all the paperwork. So now they're investigating her to see
Yeah,
if
that's
there's
kind of
any.
sketchy.
Oh, bro, he got a chance to make some real bread. You're right. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm telling you,
if that's
defamation. He's about to get $500 million.
what's
All
that
right.
called? You can go to the next topic. What's the word?
Oh no, I have one more thing on this.
Go ahead. What's the word? What is the word?
So my question is, if you guys had the chance, so I have two questions actually.
Conflict
Why-
of interest. I'm thinking of.
Why do you think? Why are people so obsessed with their all-in-monters? How do you say it?
Alma
All-in-monters?
mater.
All-in-monters?
Yeah, Ama. Mm-hmm.
And like, would you do this for your alma mater? Would you try to get the best football player off the streets and try to get him there? Because at the end of the
I
day,
don't
that's what
think
they're
it
trying
was-
to do.
I don't
They
think
wanted
it
this
was
kid to go to their
necessarily-
school, the Ole Miss, so bad.
I don't think it was just like they just wanted him to go to Ole Miss. I think they wanted, because they're from that alma mater, they wanted to be able to have their name on a plaque somewhere. You know?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
So to answer your first question, that's it. I think it's legacy. I think that's just important to people. I think the most important thing to most people in life is they want to be remembered in some way. They don't want to just leave the earth and just be gone forever. So I feel like legacy is important to a lot of people, and that same thing. Like same thing. My mom went to OSU, and I grew up as an OSU fan. I was just indoctrinated and all that, but I never had a push to go there. So I think it's just legacy. And then to answer your second question, no, I don't. I would never feel that drive.
Darren LA.
What I
It's
feel
different down south though, so who knows?
I'm sorry. You go, LA.
I was just saying life's different down south. Like down south football's year round, so it could be different for them. Like
Oh yeah.
There's a place in Ohio, Massillon. They when you're born, you're either born, if you're a boy, you're born for football. If you're a girl, you're born with pom pom. There's just football. That's just how it is. And did you ask me would I take a kid off the street into my house and if I saw him about to be an elite athlete? Was that the question?
Yeah.
I'm
making $300 million off that nigga too.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Make a movie.
I think it sounds a little bit different when it's a white family.
All right. So when they make the movie, can I have Kevin Hart to be my play me?
that's fine.
I'll be like, you going
you
to the
sure?
league? I'm 5'6". He's shorter than me.
Oh God. Yeah, he can play you then. That's fair.
All right. So now on to some baby mama drama in Texas. So I'm gonna give you a little preference to this video before we jump into it. So from what I can tell, it looks like the baby mama. I don't know. Let's just watch the video. I can't even explain this shit like I want to.
Jesus.
baby in that motherfucker, cuz.
That's not okay.
It's just the way he said
Yo,
that shit. It's
there's
a
a baby
baby.
in that motherfucker, cuz.
All right, so for the people who are listening,
God.
there's a white car. I'm guessing somebody's in the driver's seat. Somebody jumps through the passenger seat. The car starts driving off. They look like they hit something, and the car flips itself. And that's where you start hearing
Yeah.
the people in the video saying that there's a child in that car.
So this actually reminds me, I think it was 2 podcasts that I was guest on ago where there was another huge accident where that lady was ramming people constantly, had that baby in the car. Was that on this one?
That do sound familiar, yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So that stuff is just wild to me that people just endanger kids like that because they get so caught up in shit.
I think it just puts the onus on people. Like, this is why you need to be faithful to whoever you're
Yeah,
in
no
a
shit.
current relationship with, because this shit's just drama. That baby's dead, bro. That car flipped over.
Oh, let's
Yeah,
hope
I
not.
mean, hopefully they were in a car seat and are fine. But I mean, yeah, I've always been a firm believer of that. Though, if you want to go stick your dick in something else that bad, just then get rid of the relationship and start over. Like,
I think people make shit way more complicated than it needs to be because of television and
Can you
TV.
I would
replay
agree
this?
with that.
Can you mute this and replay it? So this is a guy jumping through the window, though.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he was pulling the steering wheel. They were fighting over the steering wheel or something.
Yeah, that's what I wish there was more context.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the person who
Were they
I
trying to
don't
leave with the kid, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, were they trying to
I
stop
don't
him from
know.
leaving with the kid?
I don't and y'all, I don't know if that's even the scenario of like dude was cheating
Right.
or anything. It could be something totally different. The fact that he jumped in the car, that and the person said
It's a
they
pretty
want
small. It's a pretty small person that jumped through that window. They look
yeah.
smaller than me,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this
and
is a
I'm.
cheating thing. This
Alright.
looks more like just a wild thing. Like
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough context to really like break that down much more than that. I just think it's trash. Anybody that endangers children for any reason like that, because your emotions, you want to fight or whatever else, like do what you want. Leave the kids out of it.
All right, I feel like this kid embodies me.
Oh God, I'm ready.
this is why Rob does the podcast on Sundays instead of going to church.
I'm tired of this church.
Holy thing
That's a beautiful.
The reason why I wanted to
I'm
play this
tired of
video
this church.
is because I actually want to give this kid a round of applause. Because you know how much cojones it takes to go do that? And just like,
yeah,
it has nothing to do with against the church or anything. It's just like, he's just honestly speaking how he feels. And instead of shitting on that kid for what he said, they should go ask him why. Why? What happened? Is it the other kids? Is it the Sunday school teacher? Why? Do you just not want to go to church on Sunday because you want to stay home and play video games? They need to ask him why. I'm so serious about that. Then they go check on that kid.
I give him mad props because I was raised in all of that shit, and I would never have had the balls to do that because I would have known exactly what would have happened to me if I did that shit.
Oh, it happened to him. It happened to him.
Nah, he definitely got his ass whooped.
Yeah,
Got his ass whooped when he got home.
Rob said it takes cojones. I don't know, bro. He's just a kid. Kids don't know nothing else.
You said how old is he though?
Bro, he has to be like 6, 7.
3? No, he ain't no 6 or 7. Like 2 or 3.
Darren,
no, okay,
he's not 2 or 3 years old.
Dude. My kid's almost 2. They don't talk like that at 2.
Fair.
He's like 6 or 7.
He's not 6 or 7.
I would say he's minimum 4, maximum 7. It's hard to tell ages nowadays.
I still say 3 to 5.
Darren, you're making this kid too young.
I don't think
you're making him a baby. This kid can make a peanut butter sandwich.
That's a kid that can walk.
No, this kid can make a peanut butter sandwich for himself.
Yeah.
You don't trust?
I think.
Maybe I grew up different.
But either way.
No, I don't trust a 5-year-old with a fucking butter knife. What are you talking about?
Either I was a big kid.
You were probably a big kid.
You probably were a big kid.
I don't know.
Got a big head.
I don't
What,
know.
didn't you always say you were the biggest kid in your class?
Back then, nah. Maybe I don't know. Back then, I was just a kid having fun.
Right on. But shout out to this kid, man. I honestly hope they actually checked on him, sat him down, and said, why? Why? Explain to us. Because if you don't explain to us, we can't fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing.
I agree. I can't say anything more on this without getting into the whole church thing, and I don't want to get on that segment.
He's probably just tired of it at the end of the day, man. He's just a kid tired of church. That's all it is.
All right. So these white people aren't tired of church. They love their church. Let's check this next video out.
Parents on the first day of school,
This is why everybody laughs at white people right here.
they just dancing. I don't see what's oh, parents.
That ain't dancing, bro. That is. Like, that looks like they put Molly in everybody's uniform.
I don't know. I thought that shit synced up really well. They were getting their shit.
This dude,
That was a
this
throwaway
dude in
video.
blue is hilarious. I'm so
Dude,
sorry
he's
for
what,
people
what's
that
that? It's
can't
the
watch
river
it.
dance. I couldn't think of the
That's
name. He's
just-
doing the river dance.
Stand straight up, just. I'm just like,
It's an
bro,
Irish
what?
dance.
It's just funny how they broke out though. Like one dude just stood up, and then the whole everybody just said, "Let's go."
I was always tired and hated being. How do you have that much energy in church?
Oh man.
Look at the Holy Spirit in that.
All right. So this next video is just wild. So all I got to say is watch the whole thing.
Robin.
Why's you doing this to me? Yesterday you was just saying that you wanted to be with me. Now today I bring up I'm pregnant, you don't?
We're
That's what
cousins.
okay.
we're cousins.
Okay, but it's your fault.
We're cousins.
It's your fault.
I'm not having a baby with
It's
my...
your fault. You never told me who was related.
I'm not having...
You kept it from me.
We have a baby. I'm not having a baby with my cousin.
Bro, you are the reason why this happened. You nutted in me. You came in me. All you do is lie. And you never want to own up to the shit you do. Tell them how I caught you on the bed with a man 3 months ago.
This is what you were talking about earlier? That's so much worse.
I forgot about the cousin part.
That's
This
the
gotta be
worst.
fake.
That might be the worst fucking part.
They gotta be fake. They can't be real.
Okay, so the reason I agree with Darren right off rip, and it's the same thing with a lot of the TikToks and shit you see. How the hell are you gonna have that conversation and he's recording, or you don't notice his phone's up there like that?
Oh, she probably knows. He's just trying to get it just in case she tries to like assault him or something.
You think
I don't
she's
know.
just so balls to the wall at that point?
Yeah,
I
bro.
don't-
You just got pregnant by your cousin, and this nigga loved you yesterday, and now he don't love you no more because you pregnant. Yeah, her
But
emotions
like,
are
did
off
they
the
know they were
wall.
cousins the whole time? Did they find out?
So-
'Cause it looks like he knew.
It's according to her, what she said in the video. It looks like he already knew. He kept it from her.
Yo, that's fucked up.
Had
They
sex
gotta
with
be
her.
fake. I'm good on
then
this.
told
This gotta
her.
be fake. That's all I can
Fuck.
say. This gotta be fake.
It's just too much drama.
I mean, 50-50 is fake, at least. But
50-50.
the incest part's what really throws me for the loop.
They said this is like one a half of Tyler Perry movies in less than 2 minutes. 1.5 Tyler Perry movies.
That's funny.
I thought that was
I
I thought
just-
that shit was just crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? What in the Alabama?
Yeah, that was about to say. What
Like,
in the
why is you
southern
doing this to
Alabama?
me?
All right.
She's
I'm not-
clearly in love with this man though.
X out this video. This is not real, bro. She's doing a great job acting. She deserves
I
to be in
think-
a Tyler Perry movie for real.
All
What
right,
we got
so
going on here?
this is our second main topic. I fuck with most of these female rappers. We call them pussy rappers, if you will. But
We? Who's we?
the consensus, America,
All right.
Society. we'll call it.
society, they call them pussy rappers.
Gotcha.
I think that I don't think
That
they're
term, so.
I don't think they're that anymore. I think they're way higher. I think they're just before they were trying to be sexy and sing sexual lyrics. I think they're just being nasty now. So I have a couple of videos to show you guys of these rappers. I forget who this one is. This is Sukihana. Just walking down the street. Check this
All
out.
white ladies were appalled by Sukiya in the comments.
I'm trying to get my coochie stretched. I'm trying to get my coochie stretched and eat a nigga ass. Eat a nigga ass. We be eating niggas ass today in London. Period. Baby. I'm trying to get this coochie stretched.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
No,
she
this-
said
So-
that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say is if go ahead, Darren, you can start.
No, you got this. You got this one.
Yeah, this like I said, it started with whatever you want to call it. I think Nikki, you say Nikki was probably one of the first ones. And then got
Nikki's
Megan Thee
definitely-
Stallion or
yeah.
Cardi B or whatever, and then now it's dude, it's just trying to one up the next nastiness. I mean, it is, in my opinion, it's just disgusting at this point. It's not even music, it's just shock value. How much shock value can I put in this? Like, how nasty can I be? I gotta stand out. I think it's fucked up.
Darren?
What do you do if you're just in your everyday life, walking through the grocery store, walking down the street with your dog, and some random, I don't know. I don't even know who looks up to these people. So I was gonna say
Kids
what,
do.
like,
That's why I think it's fucked up. Kids look up to these people. There's
Think of-
12, 13, 14-year-olds that are watching these videos everywhere. Even 10-year-olds.
Think about how
I
much
mean-
music you consumed as in like middle school and high school.
You
They're
know,
they're
follow
soaking
your
this shit
favorite
up.
Rappers.
They're
Yeah.
listening to these girls every single day, doing
Yeah,
their
and kids-
homework.
And kids
Whatever.
want their generational music. They don't want to listen to what we listen to. They don't give a shit about any of that stuff. They're
Facts.
just going with what's up. And that's why I think it's, again, so effed up, is because it's just the exposure of this shit. People don't need to be listening and watching that shit every day. Not every day has to be shock value 10.
I agree. But at the end of the day, they're trying to make money, and
And I get that. But there's, I don't know. It's that whole line in the sand we keep talking about with all these topics. Like, where's the line?
they don't. It was crazy is they're just not. They don't care though. If
They
you
don't at all.
like,
Should they? It's making the money. It's selling
Yeah.
records.
here's my thing is completely separate rapper, but like Lotto, I was gonna say something totally different. Like, if you have a daughter, this is just not happening. Like, but Lotto has her father in her life, and like that shit happens. You feel me? Like, I think
Yeah.
that shit's crazy to me. I don't
Same
know.
thing with Coi Leray. Isn't her dad Benzino or something? Whatever his name is.
Yeah, but I don't know if he was in her life like that. I'm just not too sure. I don't know about that.
You
just-
can't blame any of this shit on daddy issues.
I think you can. This shit out of control. So here's the next video. This is the same rapper,
I wouldn't
Sukihana.
wanna I'm sorry, I would not want to be associated with my daughter. Like, you can't have my last name if you're going to be doing this type of shit. Like, y'all can say, "Yo, Darren, that's the most savage shit in the world," but at the end of the day,
No.
come
I,
on.
Darren, I don't blame you. It's
Like-
I don't know if this is racist, but what do Asian people say? It's you're a disgrace to the family.
Like,
Yeah.
you,
Well,
here's the
honor
thing,
and all
like,
that stuff.
there's just levels to it. Like, this is like crazy. But if we just
there
take
are-
to like Steve Harvey and like Lori Harvey, like that's perfectly fine. She's never like in a position of nasty. She just looks good, and everybody knows that she looks good. It is what it is.
Like he said, there's sexualizing and then there's nasty.
And so this
Yeah.
is the same. This is the same rapper, Sukihana. She invited a fan on stage and had her fan eat her butt. I'm not going to show this on the YouTube, but look at that. She had a fan come on stage. Look how happy she is. She's
as a
thanking
fan,
God.
she's geeked.
She's thanking God.
But that's, I will say,
Like, what are we
last
doing?
one I'll say last thing I'll touch on this topic, and I'll let everyone else kind of hop in. But like, it's whether it's the eating ass thing, and again, it's just I think it's a generational thing with that, and they just went for the shock value. But even before I went to be a stay-at-home dad like I am now, when I was working at Home Depot and whatnot, I was working with a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds, and that dude, they talk about that shit all day long. Everything is eat ass this, eat ass that. I mean, I don't know.
LA, you got anything?
I mean, doing any kind of Googling, all of her music and stuff is for adults. None of it is marketed towards children. So
It's not the way the world works anymore.
Well, I can understand you saying, you can go on YouTube, you can go online, you can figure all that out. But at what point are parents held responsible for controlling their kids' access to the world? So
That's the real discussion.
Let's be
do
honest.
I feel so? Hold on, you guys asked me how I felt. So
right.
This woman is doing what she does to feed her family in the way she seems comfortable with, and she has a lot of people who I see are adults who engage in the same type of activities. Like, I don't see any issues with it.
I think that you made that sound so logical.
LA, here's my only problem with what you just said. Historically speaking, kids always hide things from their parents, especially that are considered adult. When we were kids, a lot of kids, it was like Grand Theft Auto. Kids were playing Grand Theft Auto, hiding it from their parents when they were like 10 years old. For our parents'
does that mean
ages,
Grand Theft Auto should have been canceled because they had strippers there smoking weed?
they tried to. They tried to.
They did try to.
Yeah, they did try to.
One more thing.
Try to, but does that mean it was supposed to be though?
No.
I don't feel like those two are the same thing. I think we're talking about way
One more
different
thing.
levels of it.
I'm just saying.
Back in the day,
it's intended for something. If it's misused, I don't think it's the person who provides the service's fault. If it's misused.
One more thing. When our parents were kids, they always, at least my dad, he always told stories about listening to Richard Pryor. They would sneak and listen to Richard Pryor, like tapes of Richard Pryor, because they weren't allowed to listen to it because it was too adult. They used to sneak and listen to that. So kids always have tried to sneak and listen to adult stuff their whole life.
And that's great. And that's why you have punishment and consequences to make your children not do that.
Correct. But in this case,
that's just how I feel.
But in this case, with something like music, where there could be listening to it at school, listening to it while they're doing their homework, you can say, hey, I don't want you listening to this. If they want to listen to it, they're going to figure out a way to do that.
Yeah,
that's even with drugs too.
Controls on every app. You can.
Yeah, but it's just like when I was in high school.
Cancel it out. You can make your router settings to cancel anything over 18. Like, there's ways around it.
I agree with LA at the end of the day.
If you truly care about your child not listening to it, make an effort to make them not do it.
I agree with LA.
Ground lines into them. It's not their fault that they're making, yes, it's their issue. They're making this music and you don't like it. That's fine. I don't listen to music from Singaporean folk music. Like, it doesn't interest me.
Bro,
if it interests them, that's it.
I'm just trying to say why does it seem like every black female rapper coming from the States right now is doing just exactly what Nate said. They're just trying to one up each other's nasty. That's my
because that's what makes money right now. But I feel like if they tried to do something different, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't sell.
It wouldn't work now. Absolutely not. Because if you can't go from sexualizing yourself to trying to do something real musical. It's not going to try.
I just feel like we wrote the book and now we're just going through it.
I feel like it's the same way for men, but we live in a society with double standards. But that's
whoa.
Explain that, LA.
Explain it how?
You said it's the same thing for men.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
They're
trying to one up each other.
There are men out here making music very similar, one-upping each other the exact same ways. It's the exact same situation for men artists.
In what way?
You can tell me if I'm wrong.
The exact same ways we just discussed.
Sexualized?
Where it's just overexposure.
Maybe it's not sexualized, but let's talk about drugs. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about how much pussy I eat, how much pussy I crush, how many bitches I had this week. Like, it's all the same fucking thing. It's pussy, money, weed. That's all that rap and hip hop is. And that's fine. I just don't understand why we focus on the women so much more than the men who are doing the exact same things.
I think they've changed more. I think that's why it's more relevant. Lil Wayne versus anyone now.
Let's have a fucking discussion because let's be real, LA.
It's a double standard.
No, it's not. The guy who gets a lot of money is the boss, is the champion, is the guy. The girl who sleeps with the most guys is never the most attractive woman in the room.
Because
there's a difference in the room. There's a difference right there.
I feel like you're proving his point, Darren.
It's not a double standard.
You're
it's,
making my point.
I was gonna say, I think you're proving LA's point.
it's not a double standard. It's value. If you, bro, let's just be real.
Rob, do you hear your friend?
So here's the thing. I think I'm waiting for Darren to explain it better, but
Oh,
I'm
it's the
with
perfect
Darren
way.
so far.
I got you right here. As a guy, as a guy, you have to make your value. No matter if you make millions or whatever, but you make your value. If you become a boss and you're feeding other families, that you are an asset to other people, right?
Okay.
If you lose it all, it's over with for a lot of people, meaning you are a person in a position of power. Cool.
Okay.
A woman who sleeps with a lot of guys is never in a position of power. That's not a thing to be
Darren,
respected.
you're making
you know,
Ellie's point. You're making Ellie's point.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You
you're
need to come
making
at it
his
from a
point
different
100.
angle. You need to come at it from a different
I
angle.
get what you're trying to say. I think, but yeah, you just I think
No,
you're coming at it
it's
the wrong angle.
It's a double standard, but it's
So-
fine. That's the world we live in, and you just proved my point, so it's fine.
What I would say, Darren, that you didn't say is,
even if it
I
is
think-
a double standard, who cares?
Darren,
Who
hold on.
cares?
It does
That's my
matter.
point. I'm proving.
That's
Yeah,
Ellie's
you
point.
should- Darren, you should back out and let Rob.
Yeah,
On this one.
yeah, that's Ellie's point. What I was going to say is, what I would say is, it's not a double standard because women do put that standard on themselves. Women talk shit about other women that sleep with a lot of women. It's just not like men saying that about women. Women say that about women also. So that's why I don't think it's a double standard.
Because they were instilled that double standard. That is why they do it.
They were instilled.
They were instilled?
If you were raised and someone's always saying, "Oh, she dirty, she slept with 5 dudes," and you grow up, that
They're
double
not
standard
being
is
raised like
ingrained
that
in you.
anymore. That's the problem.
The example that was just given to me is what I'm responding to, Darren.
Go ahead, my fault.
So my double standard statement is all I'm saying. There is a double standard statement.
I don't think we can argue that.
I don't understand why male rappers can do the exact same thing a female. How many times a rapper done gone out and done did crazy shit? Tory Lanez just went to jail for shooting Meg the Stallion with a fucking gun.
And
That doesn't equate.
I'm just saying, like, this shit is wild. Like, dudes do crazy shit all the time.
But
They don't get vilified the same way.
Now,
He literally
What are you
did though.
Dude, he was
What-
strong. The Manosphere had y'all saying that this nigga didn't shoot her, that he didn't tell her to
Nah.
dance.
LA,
Because
you
he's
didn't see
a
that music
strong
video.
man.
LA, time out.
Nah,
You didn't see the
it's
music
crazy.
video. The music video was
I
crazy.
did see the music video. Y'all showed me the music video 4 times and it was bullshit. I told you that nigga was
That nigga looked innocent from that music video.
going to jail.
fair. Tory Lanez shouldn't have shot Meg. Violence is never accepted in any cause. We're talking about
Except for in
in
rap, when a man does it, and when he's talking about crushing pussy. Except for when a woman does it, though, it's vile, disgusting, inappropriate. So I just want y'all to make up your minds of what we need to talk about in rap, and I'll listen to it. Because when Lotto tell me that she got that wet, I'm interested.
Oh
So
my
I don't know
god.
why y'all mad. So figure out why y'all mad, and then let me know.
LA, you're not doing a good job of equating what men rap about and what women rap about together. I'm sorry, like you're really
Great
not.
job. All right, I'm gonna find up 2 bars, and then we'll read them line for line, and then maybe you'll finally understand what I'm
Not
saying.
Lotto. I'm talking about a guy's perspective.
I'm gonna find a guy rapping about crushing pussy, and then I'm gonna find her rap about her pussy getting crushed, and then we're gonna see which one gets more angry. Which one gets you more angry? You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's find rap songs about pussy lyrics. First thing on Google. Let's find it. Let's see.
Oh my god, that is
The
officially
first
in your
one
search bar
is
forever.
Jay-Z. Jay-Z's the first one that came out. Pussy's
Right.
good, and if you getting some, I know you know why. That's the first thing on Google. Jay-Z talking about pussy.
Okay.
It's good, and if you getting it,
Okay, so hold
you know
on.
why. Okay, cool.
That's just the first thing off Google.
I feel like I need more
Rappers,
context.
Pussy. I put rappers, pussy inside of
Okay, that's wild.
And it
It's
came
just like I said, that's in
and
his search bar for life now.
and it said Jay-Z pussy lyrics.
All right, go ahead. You keep on talking
So-
about Jay-Z. Go to the next
so-
one.
So I'm just saying, Jay-Z's already got one. Just offer it.
Oh, I love this.
And
How
no
do I
one's
feel
complaining
about-
about Jay-Z.
How do
No
I feel
one's
about
complaining about
somebody's?
Jay-Z. No
I'm
one's
asking-
complaining about Jay-Z.
Are you asking me how do I feel about that line?
I'm saying, how come no one complains about Jay-Z rapping about
Because
sex and pussy?
nobody, that line, like Rob said, you need more context. If you get in pussy,
I'm not
then we-
talking about any specific words. I'm talking about the
He's-
category that's being talked about.
oh man,
Because that's what the issue is, right? We're not mad about her using the word pussy or whatever. We're talking about the content in general that she's making. It's over sexualized, right? That's what we were talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
That
So
line
if
is not
she's
over
talking
sexualized.
about, all right, you got it. What's the next topic?
Yep. I was gonna say I think we've exhausted that one, but I like that topic.
I think Rob is in the middle of something right now.
I was gonna say. I
My
do
whole
think
point is my whole
to
point
end
is,
it- Go ahead.
is this type of shit at concerts, this type of shit. I don't know if it's really being marketed to children. I don't know if, like I said, I agree with LA in that sense. It's not being marketed to children. Children shouldn't be finding it, and parents should do a better job of making sure their children don't see this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
can't
I
do
was
this
gonna
on stage, bro.
Yeah.
You just can't.
I think LA's point though is beyond valid with that. And then to the counterpoint, I know Rob brought it up and I was gonna say it earlier, but like growing up, my mom's super strict. I had no access to any of that stuff, but I knew what friends' parents didn't care. And I went to their houses to do the things that I knew I would not be able to do at home.
Yeah,
So-
I think a lot of kids do that though. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, my biggest thing is that I just don't like this being. I don't know.
Yep. I think it's an emotional response. That's why it's why it's a good argument because there's valid things to both sides because it's an emotional argument.
I don't want somebody going overseas and putting, bro, regardless of what they look like, I don't want nobody going overseas and embarrassing other people that are in the States like that.
I think
'Cause
that's
at the
taking it
end
one
of the day,
step too far.
people don't got to think that everybody in the States like that, but people are going to think what the fuck is happening in the States and make people come over and say this type of shit and do this type of shit in a different country. My opinion. The same way, real quick, the Ball brothers shouldn't have been stealing shit in China when he was over there.
Yeah.
You got to represent at some point your country a little bit better.
I agree with Darren. You represent your country when you leave America.
If not your family name. And if
Well,
you
Americans don't represent themselves very well, let's be honest.
Well, that's a whole. That's my whole thing, right? With that.
That's
thing.
why everybody hates Americans that travel.
All right. On the good side of rap, Darren found this 12-year-old rapper that's spitting bars, apparently. So let's check him out. Apparently he's way better than Sukihana.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good, but yeah, he's actually rapping. Let's put it like
I'm
that.
exhausted. Last night I couldn't sleep, but when I did, I could hear bombs in my dreams. Nightmare situation. How could they be so evil, making martyrs out of children and innocent people? We expect the bombs, not knowing where next. Huddle in the corner of my room, trying to protect my little brother. As the building shakes like it's possessed, but nothing stronger than the will of the oppressed. I bomb back with my lyrics and rhymes, living the times trying to break the Palestinian minds. What's hiding in the clouds hanging over my head? My dad risks his life outside to buy bread. The fourth war in my 12th year. At this stage I'm numb, though I haven't feel scared. There's nothing I can do in this case to stay safe. I'm brave, even though this house could be in my grave. I want freedom for the population. 2 million prisoners living in this location, shouting at the wall, but nothing is ever changing. That's life under an occupation. I want freedom for the population. 2 million prisoners living in this location, shouting at the wall, but nothing is ever changing. That's life under an occupation.
That gotta be the bearer of bad news.
Yep.
I hate kid rappers, man. I'm sorry. I don't like kid rappers. I've never liked kid rappers. I'm not saying that the kid's bad. I'm not saying that the kid isn't going to be talented one day. Kid Rappers never hit for me. I think it's kind of corny. Come talk to me when you hit puberty. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's gonna make. There's a chance that he don't make it.
That's fucked up.
I mean, I feel like this video, the thing to talk about more than anything is if you want to talk about like the message behind it, how shitty that whole thing is. But yeah, I'm kind of with Rob on this one. Rap is such an oversaturated. Everybody raps. Fuck, I rapped at one point, joking around like on freestyle beats. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with Rob. If we're talking about talent of the whole thing, you gotta prove it later on.
Yo, I'm not talking about talent. I'm talking about the kid talking about his like everyday life. That's why I put this in here.
I think
I mean, that's just depressing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad as shit. They want to talk about Americans and the privilege I guess we have. None of us are ever gonna live in a war zone.
Knock on wood, yeah.
Hopefully not.
All right.
Anybody else got anything?
So apparently Darren just is finally realizing in 2023 how big Taylor Swift is. I don't understand how it took Darren so long to figure out Taylor Swift has been that bitch for like a decade, if not more. I remember seeing Taylor Swift's. I think her first music video was like on Disney back in like what 07, 08. I had no idea who this chick was, and to see what she has become, it's actually kind of crazy.
So my first tidbit towards all that, and I think why she's so popular, has a lot to do with her philanthropy, because she gives so much money away.
Really?
So I feel like that's part of why she's put on such a big pedestal, because she really is just a good person, and she uses her fame in a very positive way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's how you're supposed to use it, I guess, right?
Yeah, but most people don't to that degree. Now, I could never justify the people that spend like 10 grand to go to her concerts and stuff. I think that's bonkers. But
if that's your favorite artist in the world and and she's coming to your city, you might have to take your parents' credit cards out.
I don't think so. I could never. I don't care who it is. I don't think I could pay more than maybe like max I would pay is $500 to see like a Dream concert.
Yeah.
I could never justify. I don't care who it is. I don't care where it is. That's just a dumb amount of money.
So let's do this
football
then.
Game. Anything else.
Concert.
Yeah. What's your dream concert? What's your I'll pay $500 front row concert?
That's tough because I've seen. I mean, my favorite artist has always been Wiz. I've seen him 5 times now. I mean, I think the only thing I'd pay that much for would be because I was a big festival guy for years in my early 20s. I would pay $500 for a 3-day festival, and I would have to name off like 25 artists I want to be there.
Okay. Darren?
I don't know. Now, like,
I know exactly.
A lot of artists that I want to see is that.
So, what's your dream concert? That's all I'm asking. What's your dream concert? $500 front row.
Artists that pass.
Yes, it's a concert.
I pay a lot more than $500, but shit, Michael, Prince, Bob, DMX.
All right, chill out, Darren. You only get 2 hours.
Biggie and Pop.
All right. Well,
throw in J. Cole and Kendrick and Drake as special guest.
LA, what's your dream concert?
He said name 25. I named 7 and Rob said chill out.
I don't know. I'd probably go Future, Lil Wayne, and maybe what's his name? Saint.
Okay.
Drill rapper.
Okay.
Solid.
Mine's very simple compared to your guys. I just want Tyler, the Creator, and Drake on the same stage. If I can get that, Tyler's mind and what he's going to do with that stage, and Drake's like ability to perform at the same time, I think that shit would be nuts. I
agree with that.
Because Tyler has some great concepts. So he be like doing some crazy shit with his stages and shit. Speaking of, this is kind of a tangent. I saw that I think it might have been Taylor. Does she have the moving stage, or is that Drake? One of these motherfuckers have a moving stage. I was like, what the hell is that?
I don't know. They've been going crazier and crazier ever since the Yeezy concert that got canceled midway through.
Yeah.
Where he was floating above everybody.
All right. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit. We got 5 minutes left. Tyler Perry tried to buy BET for $2 billion. Apparently it was turned down by Paramount. What do you guys think about this? I know Darren has a more over here about it, but what do you guys think about it? Just like him being turned down, or him trying to buy BET in the first place?
I personally wanted the group with 50 Cent and Shaq to buy BET, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think they wanted him to go up to $3 billion, but he wasn't gonna go for $3 billion, and kind of understandable. Yeah,
$3 billion is a lot.
A lot. $2 billion is a lot, but yeah.
But like another billion on top of the $2 billion you already offered, that's crazy. That's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit before the podcast started, but I mean, A, do you think BET is worth more than $2 billion? B, are they just betting on themselves to try and get more money? And then C, do you just think this means that one point this year they're going to get bought out, just a matter of who?
They might as well. I don't know. I don't know BET's numbers or ratings or how they do ratings wise or anything like that. But as far as I know, people don't watch BET anymore.
No, since cable's died, I feel like I haven't seen BET since in a decade on TV.
Correct, but I know they try to do things like they have BET Plus or stuff, and they try to get into the streaming game. But like, who cares, bro? BET's known for shitty content, so I don't think people even want to even give their time to even try to look for something good on there.
Which is why I'm so surprised they turned down an offer that big, because I'm assuming he wants to rebrand it. I mean, that's the only reason to buy it out at this point, is to rebrand it.
Right,
yeah.
and do something completely different.
Right.
I think it's worth $2 billion to see what you can do with it, but at the same time, it's like
you don't want to overpay and not make your money back. At the same time, it's still a business move.
Right.
Exactly. And you got to reverse a lot of shit that they do, like the app shit. Like, take that shit out. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all.
What, the ad shit? Is that what you said?
Apps. The
apps. Got you. All right. This next one is kind of crazy too. So, an entire police force in Minnesota quits after being offered $22 an hour $22 an hour pay, leaving the mayor heartbroken. The entire Godot Police Department has resigned because of the issue surrounding pay. So my question to you guys is, $22 an hour seems like very low to be a police officer.
Yeah.
That seems kind of ridiculously low. It sounds like they should have walked out.
Yeah, I mean, wages are always relative, obviously. So where'd you say this was again? What state?
Minnesota.
Okay, I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, I mean, for the job they do, especially when you've got fast food workers pushing for $20+ an hour and whatnot, and you're putting your life on the line every day, that's more why I think it's. I mean, they don't get hazard pay necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like you deserve a little more if you're putting your life on the line every day.
100%.
So it's saying in Ohio they average around 61,000.
So 61,000 is close to $30 an hour, I believe.
That sounds about right. That still sounds a little underpaid for me, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, if you're putting your life on the line, at the end of the day, you deserve to get paid for it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously there's a crap ton of them, and there's different levels to that. How long you've been there. But if they're offering people that have been working for 10 years in that department $22 an hour, I feel like that's a slap in the face.
All right. Is there any other topics y'all want to hit before we go?
Run through them real quick.
We got the Komodo dragon eating the deer. We got this is just cool edit. This is just funny. We just did this. We just did this. This dude crashes his Mustang, which is crazy. Tory Lanez 10 years in prison. Dave Portnoy selling his stake in Penn National. Or I'm sorry, him buying back his Barstool from Penn National. Tom Brady parachute.
Let LA give his flowers on saying how he was the first person to be right about the Tory Lanez thing real quick. So
They already knew. They already knew I was going to be right.
All I'm saying
I've
is
been
that
telling them
music
for
video
over
was
a
too
year.
damn good.
You called that shit?
Yeah, he said it from the jump, and it was a good amount of episodes ago. If I had the exact episode, I would remember it, but I don't.
It's probably 100 episodes ago by now.
But we
That's
did agree
funny.
with him after a while. It just took a while.
Yeah.
They was trapped in that manosphere.
I don't know about the manosphere. I think it was more about we weren't there that night. Tory had us convinced.
Tory had us convinced. He had me convinced. He was going crazy. He said, I'm boxing with the devil right now. I was like, damn, this man fighting the devil. Turned out he was the devil. That's how the devil gets you, Darren. They say they're somebody they're not.
Oh man. But yeah, that's crazy. 10 years. Y'all think he do the whole 10 years?
No, he probably does. I heard if he's on good behavior, he only has to do 85% of his sentence. So I say 8.5.
It's a long time, man.
But then I heard that after he gets out, he's going to get deported to Canada.
Yeah, believe that. Yep. Are y'all still listening to his music?
Of course, bro. That last album he had was fire. That Waterfall album, was that what they was called? Or there was that album, and there was like the Alone at Prom. That Alone at Prom album hits different.
Yeah.
He makes good music. At the end of he's always been a great artist. He makes really good music. It's just like you can't be shooting black women, especially stallions. All right.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'd like to thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Purple Pill Podcast. This was episode 128 of the Purple Pill Podcast. Make sure you let us know below what you think, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.